And welcome back to another episode of Christian Influence Radio Drama. We'll be joined again by 3 UTI acclaimed actors, Jube Cram, Jerry Cranium, and Levi Turtlebutt. Thank you for joining us. Please enjoy a reading from Papa Was a Preacher. Enjoy. We pick up with Eileen having just left the room, leaving only Jeff and Cecil, childhood friends, alone, talking with one another.
Are you going to college next fall, Cease?
I suppose so. Papa's made plans for me to go.
So is my dad. What about this summer?
I'll get some kind of job. Hugh wants me to sell Bibles with him.
I wouldn't want this to get around, but I had a chance to go to a minstrel show this summer.
Go with the minstrel show?
Dugan's Great Western Minstrel played Centerville this week. Didn't they come here?
No.
I saw every performance they gave. I even worked backstage.
What a break.
I got acquainted with all the performers. And the last night, they even let me put on some burnt cork and sit on stage.
What did your dad say about that?
He didn't know.
Are you going to do it? Work with them this summer, I mean.
I guess I can't. I've got to think of Dad.
What were you going to do? Be an end man?
No. They wanted me to dance.
I didn't know you could.
I've always liked to shuffle around.
Me too.
And this sugarcane, one of the stars of the minstrel, taught me a swell new routine. It's called the buzzard lope.
The buzzard lope?
It's South African. Here, I'll show you how it goes, if you're interested.
You bet.
Of course, it's better with music, but I think I can give you the idea. You've got to keep your body completely relaxed.
Jeff relaxes with a flourish.
Now watch!
Jeff goes into a dance, which is a slow, rhythmic affair with much muscular contortion as he finishes a sequence he calls...
Do you get the idea, Cease?
I think so. It doesn't look too hard.
Why don't you try it with me?
Okay. 1 and 2 and 3.
He and Jeff begin to dance in unison, Cecil keeping an eye on Jeff. They try. They flap around like buzzards. As these contortions come to an end, Papa, Cecil's father, appears at the archway. Papa watching in amazement for a few moments, then clearing his throat. Are you boys in pain?
Papa! Jeff was just showing me an exercise.
Is this exercise popular in Centerville, Jeffrey?
Yes, Mr. Porter. No. Mr.
Here's the material your father wanted, Jeffrey.
Oh, yes, sir. Thank you, sir. I better run along now.
Don't let me hurry you away, Jeffrey. Maybe you'd like to teach me this exercise.
You, sir? Oh, no, not you, sir. Goodbye, Cease.
Goodbye, Jeff.
I'm afraid I startled Jeffrey.
He won't catch his breath till he gets back to Centerville.
If I didn't know you boys so well, I'd have thought you had guilty consciences.
Guilty consciences? Oh no, Papa.
Cecil!
Now what's this?
There's an attack!
Little Napoleon and his stuffs again.
All right, roll the intro.
Evening, officer. Is something wrong?
Don't worry, son. Routine traffic stop. We got reports of someone driving under the influence. You know anything about that?
Oh, wouldn't it be me? I'm only under one influence.
And what would that be?
The influence of Jesus.
It's time for Under the Influence.
What's up, guys? Welcome back to another episode of Under the Influence. I'm your host, Jude Crane, joined by your
two other hosts, Jerry Crane and Levi Thiessen. What are you playing with the music for?
I'm just having a little fun.
He's just having a little fun.
I forgot that my laptop's a touchscreen, so now I can do this.
Oh, he's like a DJ.
Yeah, I can just hit buttons.
He's like a DJ.
What's up with that?
And I don't have to awkwardly move the mouse around. And then, you know how sometimes you're like,
It takes like
actually
50 seconds.
Yeah, the few times you actually want me to do this, I can just quickly boop, boop.
Wow.
I mean, it's rare that you actually are expecting me to play one and want
One
it.
of the new revelations we've made with Rode software. One of the two new.
But it's not even the Rode software necessarily. It's just my laptop.
It's just your laptop. Yeah.
Jared's
So
just
get on my level. You were saying, you were doing the intro. Go right ahead.
That is the intro.
That is the intro.
That is the intro.
Is there?
You all right there?
Yeah, you got a spiel about the.
I do have a spiel.
You usually have a spiel.
You've got a little bit. You've got a little bit of
Discord and Patreon.
Do you have a little bit of this?
You've got a spiel on your lip.
I've got a bit of a spiel on my lip.
I've got a bit of spiel on my lip.
Right in between your two teeth there, you got a bit of spiel.
You got a bit of spiel on your lip there.
Hey, welcome back, everybody. For us, it's been a little while. We took a little bit of a break for the holiday. Christmas. It was wonderful. But for you, it's just been a week. So,
Well, no, this is welcoming them to the new year.
that's true. This is
Welcome.
our New Year's episode,
to the new year.
which is something we'll probably talk about at some point here. But
How can we record this now and release it in the new year? Everything could be different.
yeah, what if like everything?
How many of you?
What if
have
our cold open is
Suddenly,
is so offensive?
yeah.
In the course
Just
of
because
6
it's 20,
days or whatever.
just because it's the new year and for no
Yeah,
other reason.
because it's
That'd be so-
2023.
It is current year.
Ooh, we're speaking to the future.
We are always speaking to the future.
Sometimes we upload late.
Doesn't change.
I mean, usually we're speaking more into the future.
yeah. Well, thank you for being here. As I was saying, it's been a little while for us, but it's good to be back. At the top of this, for the first time in a long time, just going to go ahead and mention, so I don't forget later. If you enjoy this episode or you enjoy others and you want to talk to us more easily, there are ways to find each of us online. I mean, some of us through Twitter or things like that or Instagram, but if you want to talk to us more easily and engage in kind of conversation and discussion about the show or topics on the show or just things in general. Also, I guess there are some laborers downstairs working this morning, actually, excuse me. So you might be hearing some of that.
Morning podcasts.
Yeah.
Morning recording.
Usually we're here at like 5 to 8 p.m.
Yeah.
Right now it's in the morning. But yeah, you might hear some sounds downstairs.
5
Sorry about that. Yeah, all I'm saying is if you like it and you want to get more involved or you just want more regular notifications or updates about the show, if we have to take a break or we're doing something like that. And sometimes, you know, at the end of a season, we take a 1 or 2 week break and we like to announce that to you guys. So all that kind of stuff, join the Discord at discord.gg/Christian Influence. You can talk to us, engage in conversation, and sometimes play a game here and then, you know. Maybe join a Bible study, maybe pick up a prayer partner and pray with someone online. Lots of stuff. And we'd love to see you there. So if you enjoy what we're doing here, you'll enjoy what we're doing there. Also, if you enjoy what we're doing here and you want to help out in some way, which is definitely not necessary, you're already helping out a lot by listening and sharing the podcast, we'd love if you leave a rating or review. Spotify lets you do it. You can leave a rating, which is huge. And then Apple Podcasts lets you even leave a review. And if you do, we will read it on here. We have a lot of fun doing that. Preferably 5 stars. But 1 stars are sad. 2 stars are less sad. 3 stars are fine. 4
Well,
stars
2 stars, you know, they tried. They tried to like
it.
because you can so easily just like nonchalantly 1 star or 5
Yeah.
star, but if they 2 star, they went out of their way to 2 star.
Which means they like it
It's
less.
almost
That
worse
means they
than a
like
1
it
star.
less.
So if you
than-
4
it's
star,
worse than a 1 star.
Is that better than a 5 star? 4 stars? Because they really thought about it? No.
No, but it's definitely true. 2
Your
stars
opinion
are
matters,
worse than
listener.
1
Your
stars.
opinion matters to us, but it's all about the algorithm.
Oh, I wasn't talking about the algorithm.
Oh, I know.
I have
I'm
no idea.
saying
No
those
one knows
stars
that.
help us out. But also, we just
Remember,
want to hear from
like
you.
and subscribe.
But beyond that, if you'd like to support the show, you can head on over to Patreon and do that. You get occasional bonus content and stuff like that, but also your money goes to help support what we're doing at Christian Influence as a whole. So thank you so much for listening to the little spiel that I have between my teeth. And let's get on with the show. Jude.
Yeah. Yes.
I have a question for you.
Uh-huh. Ooh.
Out with Jones. Does his life matter?
Where did that come from?
I don't know. That was weird.
Is that the question?
Gaga just swooped in and
Yeah. I'm crashing. But does his life matter?
he's really existential in the middle of a car accident.
I'm gonna hit that guy.
Both of you have a little story for us, don't you? Levi, go right ahead.
Yeah. I'm on my way here. So, I'm getting onto the interstate, right?
South or north?
South.
Probably so.
From what
And
exit?
there's a guy that's coming off of the off ramp, and then he turns, and then he's gonna go onto the on ramp, like at the same exit.
Yeah, as if he's just like doing a little
As if he's
leapfrog.
just yeah. So he obviously missed something,
Yeah.
like he missed a stop or whatever. And so I go and I'm driving behind him, and then when we're waiting to turn onto the on ramp, I look and I see that he's got these very large particle board like just sheets in his like the trunk. So I instantly have the thought, have you guys seen
Final Destination.
have you guys seen Final Destination?
Where the logging truck stops in
Yeah,
front.
so for the listeners that may not know, bad movies, don't watch them. They kind of suck. But
Also,
basically,
can't really endorse them, you know.
and I can't endorse them. But
Violent.
it
Needlessly.
like there's a bunch of paranoia about like after you watch those with all
Yeah.
like seeing everything happening, especially with like the log trucks that they'll just fly off.
Because the point of that movie is that
people die in the movie.
death is
Yeah.
chasing some individuals, and they die in really ridiculously over the top in horrible ways.
Yeah. But one of the things
Things like that would
is
never happen, like a Rube
pieces of
Goldberg
wood.
machine.
Yeah,
of death.
one of the ladies is getting LASIK, and so there's this laser
LASIK.
going LASIK. Like,
Yeah.
and then there's this laser going into her eye, and then a plane crashes into the building.
Yeah, like just ridiculous things, like the things that you think in a moment, you're like, what if this happened? Like, what if that ant knocked over that leaf, and that leaf fell on the stove lit on fire, and the fire alarm went off, and then the sprinklers went off, and then I drowned.
I was kidding. She died by the laser, not a plane.
Go ahead, Levi.
No, she died from like
Oh, from the fall, technically.
I don't
right?
think
Yeah.
that the specifics really matter.
anyway. But I've got this like paranoia that you always think about whenever you go behind a logging truck or something that
Yeah.
has like items in the back that you can't tell if they're latched down or not. But then I'm just like, all right, it's definitely latched down.
Yeah,
like it's got to be. And that's definitely not just what I tell myself so that I can continue driving. And staying behind him because he's going the same speed I go and whatever, we're going. He all of a sudden starts to slow down a bit. And like it constantly comes into the back of my mind, what if those things fly off? And then I stop myself. And then I'm like, all right, this is just fine. And I just continue to be behind him. He then slows down and gets off the side of the road. And I see pieces of particle boards. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Just on the side of the road, and he stops over and starts picking them up. And I'm like,
That's why he turned around.
and this is going the other way.
Oh my goodness.
Wait, particle board? Was it a white truck with a flatbed?
Yeah.
Dude, that's the same thing, the same particle board story that I have about in the van almost getting hit because the particle birds up top started flying over the van.
Wait, was it the
on
same
the freeway.
vehicle?
It's got a truck cab and then like a flat back, and it's a
Oh,
snubby.
mine had a what is it called? The topper that you can put onto the flatbeds.
No, mine didn't have that.
What is this
Snug
called?
top or something? Is
I
that
don't
the
know,
brand?
but mine wasn't that. Mine just had a flatbed.
Canopy?
Yeah,
Canopy.
canopy. It had a canopy on top. And
I'm a truck guy.
So they're aimed right at you.
but yeah, they were aimed right at me. They looked like they were like just
staring down
horizontal
The
sitting
barrel
there.
of a gun.
And it just
I'm a gun.
terrified me. The rest of the drive was just like white knuckling
Yeah.
my wheel, just like I could have died. But yeah, and then I came here.
I could have died.
Yeah.
If we go by Final Destination rules, you should have died.
I
Now,
should have died,
You're going to
and
die in
now-
some weird way because you narrowly avoided death. Your mic is going to overheat and explode into your face.
Yeah, and then Jude and I will just be fine somehow.
We'll have to record the podcast without it.
We'll have to finish the podcast without him. Oh, big stretch. That's terrifying.
But yeah, that was my little thingy.
That's nice.
Sometimes
Don't play it.
No, let it play out.
All right.
I could have died.
Well, nice.
Mine doesn't involve death. It
I do
just
like that you were
involves
right though,
bears.
and that you like swing.
Yeah.
And like I constantly like all the time when I drive, I'll like have those irrational thoughts that I'm just gonna die. Like my brakes are just gonna give out.
Yeah.
Or like something ahead of me is gonna mess up, or
It's
somebody's
crazy.
just
Or
gonna
like
You
a
drive
motor.
pretty fast.
or somebody like
Yeah, that is true. You do drive so
crazy.
fast. Or like a motorcycist will just like come out of nowhere and hit you in the back of the car.
yeah, like what actually happened.
That would never happen.
Yeah.
It did happen.
Oh,
It did happen.
you're right.
Yeah.
But it was the motorcyclist's fault.
Oh yeah, I wasn't insinuating it was
Going-
Levi's fault.
going
Because the
70 and a
victors write
35.
history.
Oh, because the living right history. No, that guy
He
lived,
lived.
but barely. It was a crazy
I don't know if you
situation.
can call it living.
Yeah, well, he's not like in a wheelchair for the rest of his life or something,
fine.
or not just a
I
wheelchair.
don't know
I
if
mean,
he's
like
fine.
bedridden. But
I just know that he's alive.
no, I think he was fine, right?
Yeah. I mean, he died several times while he was getting surgery. He got like metal plates put into his like chest cavity, and he had like massively destroyed internal organs and stuff.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, Levi was pulling out of our driveway when we all lived together, and it was on a road that was fairly busy, and
But it's like
it's like a 35
35
mile per hour road, and
He was
this guy
going
like
70.
Yeah, in a motorcycle, and just plowed into the back of Levi's car.
Like it shot my car
Yeah.
around, like
Across the road, spinning around.
yeah.
Yeah. Levi's little car. Like,
Was he speaking when you got out of your car?
Oh, yeah,
Was
he
he
was-
speaking
he was
when
cursing.
he hit your car?
Was he
He's
like, was
hey,
he,
buddy, look out.
was he, did he initially like want you to take the blame for it? Or? I'm just curious.
Okay,
He
so
was asking you.
Well, he was like,
"Please
why
take
would you
the blame."
pull
when
out?
he was writhing in pain, like he couldn't get up because he had so many like broken
Yeah.
bones and everything. But he was just screaming at me like
Yeah.
a lot of profanity. But what he was most, he was like, "Why did you do that?"
Yeah.
And then basically
you?
after saying that twice, all he kept saying and trying to do was get up to look at his bike, and he was
Yeah.
like, my bike, I just got a new paint job on it. My bike, I
Kinda
need it.
sad. I mean, it's crazy, but it's kind of sad.
That's crazy, yeah.
Yeah.
Ripping 70 on
Well,
it.
I hope that guy's okay. I
hope he's
mean, obviously, it was a stupid thing that he did, but I do hope he's okay because that
And it took him
is like a life-alteringly, like could be a life-changing situation.
And it's kind of your
took
fault.
about like
No.
it took about like 6
you feel
months
guilty?
for him to be like able to go home.
Yeah.
Oh.
That's wild.
Yeah.
But he still rides.
But he still rides in our hearts.
They say
still
that
rides
he
in our
still
hearts.
rides today.
Yeah. They say he's still riding west
You could have walked.
into the sunset.
No, you could have walked.
Oh.
It's blaming you.
Yeah, you could have walked to work, Levi.
I could have just
Levi was actually just
should've
driving
walked.
to the 7-Eleven that was 300 feet away.
What happened to you this week, dude?
I did a delivery. That was supposed to be done last week, but because of the ice, I could not do it last week. So I had to do it
What
this week.
ice?
There was some ice.
I think you're just making excuses.
Nope. Couldn't drive. Ice on the road.
Yeah, for the audio listener.
We had freezing rain for like a night and a half.
And it happened to happen.
How about
On the night before and into the day, or through the day of that candlelight service we were talking about in a previous episode that we were all excited for. That's
right.
So
I
it
was very
pretty
bummed
sad.
out. I mean, I was
one of my
also
favorite things for Christmas, but
I was also super sick.
oh yeah, if you haven't noticed yet, if your ears haven't picked up on it, Levi and I both are a little bit still in our voice, but
Yeah.
And I sound great.
Waking up Christmas
sounds like Frank Sinatra.
morning, I sounded like I just like smoked 3 cartons of cigarettes.
ooh,
Yeah.
dude, I feel like I've been sick for Christmas quite a few times in life.
Yeah.
It's just the time of year, I guess, but it happens a lot. And then that's my sick for the year. I save it
sick
up till
for
the
the year.
end.
Man.
That's when I'm sick with it, you know. I know. You better believe it. See what you're saying?
That's why you get the coolest gifts, because you're always sick with it.
I'm always sick with it.
Yeah, I just got you it's a gun or whatever. Oh, my brother's so sick with it every Christmas.
I just got you a gold chain, a
Oh,
grill,
that's so cool.
a white tank top,
A bandana.
some low-hanging shorts.
Another gun.
So, the ice.
Keep being sick with
The
it.
ice.
snow.
Man, Jerry Christmas is so cool.
Jerry Christmas?
Jerry Christmas is
Man, Jerry Christmas is so cool.
Man,
Hey, I'm Jerry
It's Jerry Christmas.
Hey, everybody.
I give out guns.
I give out used needles.
That's so cool. He's so cool.
I'm a man of the street.
He's skating away.
as he doesn't
No,
ollie.
roller skates. Oh, roller skates with knee-high white socks. Jerry Christmas.
I'm going roller skating today. I'm going roller skating today. Maybe I should wear that outfit
Knee-high white socks.
and the low-hanging
shorts.
shorts. Hey, everybody, I'm Jerry Christmas.
I just,
is that guy?
I imagine like
Coolest
the
kid around.
Santa like body up until you
Santa
get into
body?
the calves, and they're just like
So
runner's
ripped.
calves.
Yeah.
So
like,
ripped.
Just
Arms outstretched like an
Wiry.
airplane.
Yeah.
Move out of the way. It's Jerry Christmas. Bang, bang, bang.
bang, bang, bang.
Get out of my way or I'll make
Instead
it.
of the ho ho ho, bang, bang, bang.
All right, let's move on.
I love that character.
Me too, honestly. I hope that's a recurring bit. Gangster me, but looking like Santa
Jerry
Claus.
Christmas.
Jerry Christmas.
I had to do route this week because I couldn't do it last week. And so when I was delivering some of the
Not a
racks,
whole route, right? Just it was the
it was
whole route.
one day's route. So it was my Friday route. So
When did you
north,
do it? Yesterday?
Tuesday.
Tuesday, all right.
Tuesday.
Tuesday,
Yeah.
all right.
The rest is paid leave. But Tuesday, I had to go up to Portland and Gresham area. It was rough because it was still icy and windy. So windy, dude. So windy.
Tuesday was really windy.
It was
yeah.
crazy in Gresham.
Monday night was insanely windy.
Knocked the insulation out of my
Windy.
ceiling.
It knocked the insulation out of your ceiling.
The one piece I didn't have secured down was next to like the venting roof.
So,
Oh, okay.
Okay, that was
So during the night, it just went onto my face. And I was like, oh.
So you just got fiberglass right in the face.
No, it's not that good of insulation. Anyway, I
it's
had
like
to do
the
a route.
foam board.
I missed a day, so I was late. I missed a few days. And so some of the racks were empty, and so they had moved them around. So one of the stores, instead of moving it, they just set in front of it this like rebarb welded
Rebar.
bin.
Not
Rebar?
No, it's rebarbed. His had
rebarb.
thorns on it.
Okay, you're.
Oh, I thought you were calling my aid.
No, I did too. I was like, you're very wrong. It's called
Another
rebar.
thing I have
You're
to say
mixing
for the rest
rebar
of my... And rhubarb.
rhubarb.
Like a rhubarb pie.
a rebar pie.
I'm going to say this wrong now. There's a rebarb cage,
Rebar.
and
Further.
just like a wire cage would be in like a coastal or a
Sure.
co-op, but like that thick of metal. If you can't see, I'm making like
A
2
golf
inch,
ball.
more just over a golf ball like width. It was insane.
Not as big as a.
So they basically put our rack behind jail.
Yes. Yes, they did. And
Behind
it was
jail.
filled with little children's stuffed animals, like grab and go, like Beanie Baby size.
Like the cutest thing
It was
ever.
weird
In a prison
because,
of a
yeah,
rack.
the grids that it made were large enough, so like the heads of the stuffed animals were like hanging out.
Oh my gosh.
Free us or whatever. But I was,
Free us or whatever.
So I had to move this thing, and I lean over to pick it up, all back, of course, because I'm a professional lifter. And I can't.
It's full of stuffed animals.
I can't pick it up.
Is it like the thing
Because
where you
it's
can't pick
so
up the chair?
heavy. It's has to do with like how big it is. So my center of gravity, and it's made of this giant metal. but it looks like just a cage full of stuffed animals, and I'm struggling so hard to pick it up. And then
like
one of the,
SpongeBob
I'm
trying
like,
to
and I don't want to
teddy bears.
Yes, I don't want to scrape it because it'll just tear up the floor.
Yeah.
And then one of the managers starts to walk by. He's like, "Oh, I'll get that. It's good to see you guys. Because people wanted your corn or whatever." Start to make a conversation. So I take a step back, and
He wasn't
like,
upset?
No. He just grabs the whole thing.
He left it?
No. So I'm standing there, and he's like,
Did they bolt it to the ground?
No. And so I go, I think this is a joint operation. And so we had two people lift this this cage of stuffed animals and set it to the right. And just the image of us going, ugh, and setting it down,
Yeah.
and all the stuffed animals going, and it's just this cage. Yeah. And there's just people like, it's right by the checkout stand. And we
Yeah.
made kind of a spectacle of it because we're like,
That's amazing.
and then I just had to fill the corn rack. But it was so funny. The manager was super nice about being empty on stock, but it was just like
Yeah. I mean, I think that's
a very
situation.
emasculating moment.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
There's all these cashiers, and I'm just like, baby. Yeah, waiting like, do I ask for help? Oh, thank goodness this guy showed up. Well, he can't do it either. So we both
I
have
thought
to
he
do
was
it.
just gonna go over
It's
and
probably
just be
better.
like with one hand,
Yeah.
just like
It's better
that
that he
would've
couldn't
been-
do
you got to
either.
turn off
yeah,
the magnet.
but then the time in between him trying,
Right.
failing, and us like positioning
Create a
ourselves around
spectacle.
it made a spectacle. Of
Yeah,
us. People
but
were
it is
looking
better.
over.
it's
Yeah,
so incredible.
What it
just
makes me
like-
think of is, so you've got this heavily, weighted thing that you can't even move, and it's full of stuffed animals. That SpongeBob episode where they're working out, and he's trying to lift the little dumbbells that are
Yeah, Levi
just
said- it just
bars.
says it.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I did.
Oh, I'm sorry. Did
I actually
tell
brought
Levi
it
the
up
story?
twice.
No, Levi like brought it up like
I
the SpongeBob.
actually brought it up
episode.
twice.
Just in entirely different context?
No, in this
just like
conversation.
35 seconds ago.
Oh, because you already told him that. Wait, on the
No, like
Yeah,
when we
on
were
recording.
talking, I brought it up twice.
in the recording?
Just now.
Yes, literally like 10 seconds
He's
before
like
you
that
had brought
SpongeBob
it up.
episode, and then later he's like, yeah, the SpongeBob episode where he's got the teddy bears on the dumbbell,
Yeah.
and
You
then
guys
you're
are
like,
gaslighting.
no, we're not.
no
gaslighting.
way.
Roll it
You
back,
just-
listener.
Dude, I was distracted, I guess.
Jerry just doesn't listen
like
when
the
I talk.
SpongeBob episode.
No, I just didn't hear it. I'm sorry. So yeah, that SpongeBob episode.
It does remind me of the SpongeBob episode.
I'm
yeah.
sorry, Levi.
How dare you?
It's okay. Wait.
What?
I forgave myself.
You're
for
making
you.
me apologize.
No, I was making you forgive me.
It was a fun thing that happened.
That's crazy.
All around.
On route with Jones.
You gaslighted me?
No.
Oh.
No, you're crazy.
I didn't say he was crazy. I said he was lying.
Oh no, you are crazy. You're
Yeah.
a crazy person.
I am a crazy person.
Now we gaslight.
No, we gaslight.
We got him preheated. Now we gaslight.
We gaslight.
All right, boys. I went to the zoo yesterday
Ooh,
What?
with my wonderful girlfriend and my two youngest siblings. And I got
You have
something.
siblings?
Yeah, Jude's my cousin, but the other one's. I thought this would be fun on the episode, wouldn't it be? Levi, do you prefer sour cream and onion or salt and vinegar?
Salt and vinegar. You know that's what you prefer.
I actually don't like either.
Well, you have to pick one.
I can't.
Which do you prefer?
I'll pick for you.
I guess
I know which one you're going to want.
Salt and vinegar.
salt and vinegar.
It's the one that has more flavor. So we went to the zoo.
They got monkey poop, and they put it in a box. Now we gotta eat it.
I got some monkey poop for you. Oh, crap. It fell. Oh,
It's flavor.
I got a whole monkey. I got a little gift. Now,
Wow. I got a little gift. Now,
so we went to this is just a fun story, but we went to the zoo. It was such a fun time. And then we left the zoo and came back when it was dark, and they have those zoo lights.
now this is an animal zoo?
Yeah.
No, this is a human zoo.
Got
As
it.
opposed-
Just clarifying.
And we went to the gift shop, and I knew they had this there. And I got it because I just wanted to make Joel and Jenna, my two youngest siblings, suffer a little bit.
I knew they
So-
had this in the store.
Levi, I thought it'd be fun if the three of us tried this on air together.
Oh no.
Do you know what it is?
I don't know, but I don't like where this is going.
Eat some
You got to do it. Will you do it? It'll be funny.
He'll do it.
I guess.
He'll do it.
I'm gonna take a picture while you do it.
What?
Little
I wish we had video for this podcast.
Did
I
you
don't
give
wanna
me a
do
sour
this.
cream and onion one?
I already did this before with you guys.
You did?
Yeah, when we were at the
Listen, Levi,
When?
you ate
when we
spider
were at the little
webs.
thing.
You ate spider webs. You can eat
Yeah,
a
I
cricket.
did, but I didn't
So what I've set in front of these boys
eat.
is a salt and vinegar flavored cricket.
Is a 2-inch long.
Dude, I don't
Levi's
even
is
like
big.
the flavor.
Still moving.
flavor. Oh, you mean salt and vinegar?
Yes.
No, it doesn't taste like vinegar. It just tastes like salt. That's why I picked it for you. Because you're a salty boy.
They're
I
still
am a
moving.
salty boy.
They're still moving.
Here, do you want to dump out the crumbs into your mouth too, like a bag of chips? It's actually not crumbs. It's a bunch of legs.
I might hit the leg pouch.
Go for it, man.
It's just gonna be salty.
Let me take
crunchy.
a little picture so we can put it in the podcast. I mean, in the Discord.
I don't like that they look like
Levi, you
things,
want-
real
I don't.
things.
I don't like it, dude.
You just gotta plop it in your mouth and it's a Cheeto. It's a Cheeto puff.
It's a Cheeto.
Puff Cheeto.
Dude, this is.
You gotta prepare. You gotta prepare your mental game for when we do hot ones as a podcast.
We are going to do a Hot Ones episode.
Bruh.
Yeah.
That's going to be so fun.
So if you can't eat the cricket
Why do things have to involve food?
for the hot ones,
I thought
all
it'd be
your
fun to
wings
have a
would just
more
be cricket.
recurring segment now sometime about. We'll do good snacks too. We're just going to start it off like this. But I thought it'd be fun to do some snacks every now and then and be like, let's try this and see. Don't eat it yet.
I wasn't. I hate it. It's so gross. Ugh.
I want to record you guys
It's so
eating it.
bad. I
with
already
my
ate one
camera.
last night.
No, you didn't.
Yes, I did.
I didn't see it.
You went into his room and stole
No,
it.
they were on the counter. I said, "Are these for eating?" And they went,
I'm going to
"Yep."
do it too, and I also already did it. I don't enjoy it.
No, I'm not complaining.
You look way too happy to say you're
I
not.
just think it's funny.
I don't enjoy it. Reaching into a bigger bag of crickets.
I have a handful of them. Hey, I don't enjoy this.
I hate this.
Now,
wanted to record Levi doing
you
it.
put any of the bugs that Timon and Pumbaa
Oh,
had,
yeah. In Lion King.
Ooh, yummy,
Those look
yummy.
great.
like
Oh, yeah.
I'd slurp that up. How do they make?
3.
Bugs look so delicious. Who can say?
Oh my goodness!
It's a
dude.
horrible thing to hold, huh?
I don't like it.
Put it in your mouth.
I don't like this.
Put it in your mouth.
Are we eating?
Oh,
You got water there.
Are we eating?
Are we eating, boys?
I haven't eaten in 3 stinking days.
Meat's back on the menu, boys.
We ain't had nothing but maggoty bread for 3 stinking days. Yeah, why do we have to eat the maggots? Yeah.
Go.
Eat it.
Oh.
Put it in your
Get
mouth.
that crunch in there.
Oh.
I knew he'd have a great reaction. Dude.
Ah. I don't like it.
Oh, you didn't like it?
You can tell when you just get the head in between your two teeth. And
Ew.
Because it's like a ball.
It's the kite. It's still in there. The
kite-
exoskeleton.
Chitin.
Yeah.
Yeah, chitinous.
All right, I'll stop the video there. For
I
those
used
of
to
you
think
later who are
chitin
going to
was
see
called
that
chitin.
video, you need to be in the Discord to see it. But also, you'll see that Levi was wearing a wonderful sweatshirt. Christian Influence Crossover Gaming. You can get one of those on our website, cigames.xyz. Or christianinfluence.net.
Now
I gotta
Levi
take a
will
quick
eat
swig
the
of water.
leg pouch.
Ugh, it's not good, man. But
Well,
and
it's
I know
probably
for the
way
audio
saltier.
listener, that's probably not that great to listen to. But it's
I
funny to
think-
hear Levi struggle.
There's like 3 distinct legs in here. And at
And then
least
just a bunch of
enough,
crumbs.
Enough
It's like wings.
matter to make a 4th, I think.
A
I'll be
fourth
keeping
cricket?
these leg.
Oh.
I'm gonna
I'll
do
have you
it.
guys know, I ate the worst one. The sour cream and onion don't have a flavor. They just taste like cricket.
I think they do have a flavor, and it's just probably another instance of
It's
your
only
tongue being
no,
broken.
no. It's after the fact, I think, because I taste onion overwhelming and pennies too.
You taste pennies?
Onion and pennies.
Are you bleeding in your mouth?
No, it happened yesterday too when I ate one.
A penny?
Yeah, I ate a penny yesterday. And
I was
still
at the
taste it.
zoo, and I found it, and I thought, well, if there's any place to eat a penny from the ground, it's
Oh, I
probably
made a
the
funny
zoo.
little dad joke.
Oh, yeah?
I was buying these and they were $2.99 each, so my total was $5.98. And I went up there to pay for it, and the lady was like, "Would you like to donate those 2 pennies?" It's funny because usually when people say like, "Do you want to donate?" You know, the last of it, even if it's like 2 pennies, they just say round up because nobody wants to admit that they're asking you to donate 2 cents. But they're like, "Would you like to donate those?" And this is what was funny about it. She said 2 pennies. Would you like to donate those 2 pennies to the animals? And I was like, Sure, they can have them as long as they don't choke on them, I guess. I thought it was so funny.
And some guy in rolled up cargo shorts turned around.
Was like,
That man's a dad.
Donation things at the checkout are such a scam.
Most of the time, yeah.
I think, yeah.
Because the entire time, even if everything does go to those charities, it's literally just so that those companies can say, we donated this much money, and then they get
tax-
a tax
for tax
write-off.
write-offs?
Of
Yeah.
course. Well, I don't
But,
know. It's not a... Okay.
And then
I don't
well,
like that critique because
then
it's
that
not
means
a scam.
it's a scam when we donate money personally for tax and then also write it off.
No. But it's you are donating your money to the company, and then the company goes, "Oh, I donate all this massive amount of money that I made."
That's true because you're making
to
a
it."
donation, but you're actually not doing it.
No, you're just giving them the money,
the donation
and then
shouldn't
they're
be for
making
your
a
benefit.
donation.
But you are basically giving
It's not a
a
scam. 'cause
corporation. It's not a scam, but I do think if you're going to, I think better than doing that is donating the money yourself. Now, here's the thing. The reason they do those things is they do raise a ton of money, though, that way.
Yeah,
'Cause
they've raised millions,
Because if
and
you
it
got sick
looks
in the
great for
face,
them.
then you raise
It's
a lot
great for
more.
them, but also
Because-
that money would not have gotten donated anyway. Because I was about to say it's better for people to go do it themselves, right? Which I think it is. But people aren't going to go like, oh, I went to Taco Bell 10 times this month and
Why
that
is it better
totaled
for
up
people to do it
$2.
themselves?
Well,
I thought
because
we were capitalists here.
I
Chicanos?
mean, I am, I guess, but it's that.
It helps the charity and it helps another corporation.
Yeah, but I don't care that much about helping Taco Bell. You know, like
But you're helping. Isn't more help in the world better? Like the
no, because if you help things that aren't helpful or good, like I don't think Taco Bell's doing a lot of good necessarily. If
Are
anything,
you wanting to raise
they're
money for the
feeding-
Taliban, Jude?
They're feeding. Yeah, you want to help the Taliban, Jude?
whoa,
Well, no, more help is help.
I'm an American.
Why do you
I'm
hate? Why do you hate
You guys
America?
sound like communists, red-blooded communists.
Don't think we do.
I'm a blue-blooded American.
Wait a second.
I'm a
All right, let's
white-blooded
cut you
American.
and see where that blood
Where it bleeds
color.
from.
Let's do you bleed? Couldn't think of. Do you bleed?
I posted
Where?
a clip from the podcast this week, and it's that one of you going.
I know. I saw it. You sent it to me.
It's so funny. No, it's just because I tagged you on.
Oh, that's right. You tagged me in it. Yeah, a little bit of dog poop.
Did you see that?
Little bit of dog poop.
It's on Instagram. It's funny.
Trying to say a little bit of dog poop.
Yeah, and he
I
just says,
die.
Oh,
You all right?
There's
Oh, you found a
so-
leg in your mouth?
oh, little cricket stuff.
Little cricket legs.
I stuffed a little bit in
right.
the folds of my tonsil for later.
Ew. You guys
Oh
have those.
no! Now I actually think that there might be
there might
cricket
be
in my
something.
tonsil.
Ew. Just get your tonsils removed, guys.
No.
No, dude. What are you, tonsilless?
Yeah, I had my tonsils removed as a kid.
What else are they gonna remove?
You
Your
sold
fingers?
your tonsils to the government?
Yeah, I sold them to the
Dude.
government.
You gave
knows
your
what they did?
tonsils to Big Pharma?
Yeah. I let
Oh
them have
my
them.
word!
There's starving kids in Africa.
There's
You
starving
gave your
kids
tonsils.
in Africa that would totally just
Eat my
slurp up
tonsils?
those.
That's
All
not what
right,
I
dude.
meant.
That's-
That's not what I... Levi.
What? No, I'm saying
sick
you
freak.
cut out some tonsils, throw them on a plate. Let's see a
Oh,
hungry
right.
child.
Everybody,
Let's-
you know, everybody knows a good tonsil kebab. Yeah, but we're not like... Let's move on. Let's move on.
We've all got guns.
Let's move on. Yeah, that's all of us with guns.
all two of us.
And they sound exactly the same each time.
Yeah. They're all 3D printed the exact same way.
They're all 3D printed.
I am trying to raise money for the town.
Levi, you just got a gun, didn't you?
Yeah.
You don't want to talk about that?
No, I didn't want to.
Levi, you just got a gun,
Sorry.
didn't you? No.
You could have said, oh, no, that
Fixed
was
it.
somebody else. Oh, wait, no, I'm sorry, Levi. That was me that got a gun.
That was me. I got a gun.
I got a gun, and I like to pretend that Levi holds it when I hold it.
Wow, these could be Levi's hands, but they're not. They're my hands.
I like to pretend I'm reenacting that scene from Ghost whenever I hold my gun.
But with Levi, with, a
But with
gun
Levi instead of Patrick Swayze.
and a gun,
And a gun instead of
play.
play.
Spirit hands wrap around me and hold the gun with me.
It's like the ghost of babies wrapped around me. Small hands.
up with that?
So, let's move on.
I'm sorry, Levi. I love your hands.
It's a weird thing to say, too. Like, I love your hands.
You got great hands.
You do have good hands. They're pretty. No.
They're pretty.
They're prettier than mine. Mine are always all torn up, and then I don't make
pretty.
it better. Work like tears up the insides of my hands sometimes, and it doesn't make it better.
Yeah, my hands aren't pretty because I'm such a hard worker.
No, that's what I was saying. And I was saying, like, I tear them up. Dude.
My hands got to look like this so Levi's hands can look pretty.
There you go. There you go.
I got driver's hands.
I got driver's hands.
Yeah, driver's hands.
I got,
You know, that's
kettle
why
corn
drivers,
bagger
like
hands.
all of the good ones, wear gloves.
Ooh,
Those leather
I
driving
should
gloves.
invest in gloves.
Also, it keeps the sweat from.
I'm gonna make my work outfit
Slipping.
just.
Well,
Ryan
he doesn't
Gosling's
care about
drive.
the sweat.
Yeah,
He'll poop himself.
Yeah, I will.
that's true. We know he will.
Yeah.
Um,
Can you do that
Shut
right
your
now
mouth.
on air?
how was
I can
Christmas?
do whatever I want.
Christmas?
Christmas was great.
It's good.
Yeah,
We got to have kind of 2 Christmases.
yeah,
I hate it when people say.
yeah. Oh, you're talking about divorce.
Yeah.
Oh, you're talking about divorce.
Oh, you're talking about divorce.
Yeah.
We got 2
Yeah, that's the best part of it. you
I
know?
hate it when people unironically are like, dude, I
I
got
think
to
we've
like
talked
you-
about that on here.
Yeah.
When we first
Man, I
heard-
wish I got 2 Christmases.
yeah, that definitely happened. Like, usually it'd be like middle-aged people. Wouldn't be kids because kids aren't that smart. But like when we were kids and that was happening, I remember some people being even in church or something being like, "Well, you know," trying to cheer you up,
Yeah.
like you're gonna have
2 Christmases.
2 Christmases, 2 birthdays, and you're like,
I want my parents back.
and no family. I want my parents back. Yeah. And half a family.
Yeah. And they're like, oh, how old are you?
Yeah. 4.
You freak. Freaky little kid.
And half the memories, and half the happiness, and twice the sorrow, and twice the hurt,
Rage.
and twice the rage.
Somebody find one of their parents. They're crazy.
Somebody find their parents. Ooh, sorry, I mean one of them. One of their parents.
Yeah, turn into a monkey.
That's what
I
you
hated
did.
it when that happened.
When you would turn into a monkey.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You just turn. Your parents are divorced.
It only started after the divorce.
Yeah.
It was weird.
Yeah.
Oh, that was your X-Men thing.
My genes.
You gotta have like
Through
the stress
Yeah.
of a divorce hit you for you to turn to monkey,
For the X gene to come to fruition in some
so
sort
that
of
you
power.
can devolve.
What if
Divorced, and now I'm a monkey.
devolve?
Only on Disney Channel. Monkey of Divorce.
Yeah, it was. For me, it was a wonderful Christmas.
I did have a wonderful Christmas.
It's a Wonderful Life.
It is a wonderful
Love
life.
that
There's a
movie.
really, really good song that I've been listening to called. I think it's just called "A Wonderful Life," and I like it a lot. It has nothing to do with the movie. It's just a good song. No, and Jude, I've been listening to a lot of the Grey Havens again. Man, they're so good.
Storehouse?
Well, the thing about them is they're really good. For those listening, Grey Havens is a wonderful Christian band, but they have such wonderful songs, and then they'll also have a song that I'm like, whoa, that's a stinker.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh,
I can't think of one, but like I'll just be listening to the album, like this is great, this is great, this is
Yeah.
great. This is the worst thing I've ever heard in my entire life, and then the next one's great.
Oh, there are songs that I definitely go, always skip, never I
Yeah.
don't like this. But that's every artist. But I don't have any that are like that bad with
I don't know why. I just
I-
sometimes it's just something weird about the way they sing.
Sometimes the guys he can start to lean into
The thing
like,
that makes him
"Oh,
good,
yeah."
but there's something that makes him good. But this doesn't matter. It's neither here nor there. But they've got great music. You should check them out.
great music I saw in concert.
Gray Flowers is amazing. But
Is that them?
Yeah, I mean,
for me, it was like the best Christmas in America.
are these the guys?
No, certainly not. You spelled gray wrong. And they're called Grey Havens.
You know, like Lord of the Rings, Levi.
That's how you spell gray.
No,
If we were in Europe,
we're in America.
Grey. That's like the European thing, right?
I don't actually know.
What?
Like I don't know that. Like I know cornhole, but
You never talked about.
Please
We'll
do talk
later.
about cornhole.
We're already 40 minutes in.
yeah. Another time.
Another time. I'll write it down.
Cornhole.
Jude. Cornhole.
Shoot. Now I actually have to look it up, and I can't just spend 15 minutes ad-libbing about fake cornhole knowledge I have.
Oh, I thought.
It's
you didn't have to
all
tell the listener.
contrived. It's
Oh,
all
that's
contrived.
so
I thought
funny.
I said
I was
it-
doing that all day at the zoo yesterday. We'd be like, Perry or I don't remember who said it. It might have been Jenna, but somebody said, flamingos are actually not born pink. They're only pink because of what they eat. Like a fun little
What?
fact. Yeah, I don't know. I think it's true. I've heard that.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
They
then I
eat
would
a lot
just
of paint or something.
No, they eat shrimp.
They eat shrimp. Yeah.
And then I was like, that's why we try and keep you from eating so much shrimp, dude.
I'm turning pink.
Yeah. But
How many
I would
shrimp
just,
would you
after
have
that,
to?
every animal we'd see, or like a bunch of them, I would just be like, yeah, you know this thing? And like say something that makes literally no sense. But a couple of them would be slightly believable enough. And then we realized, and Perry pointed out, like, sometimes like there's zoo volunteers walking by.
Yeah.
And they do listen to you because if they hear you say something like, oh, I wonder what that one's name is, they'll like jump on it and be like,
Yeah.
that one's
Hey,
Kitra,
look
the
at my
orangutan.
calves. And this is,
Hey, what?
they always wear like,
Shorts?
yeah.
Yeah, but okay. So realizing how much they listen in, they definitely heard me say some of these redonkulous facts. I was like, you know why those birds are black, right? They're actually born white. They eat a lot of ants. You know, and
That's
like
crazy.
you know why that monkey's arms are so long, right? Well, when they're born, they actually have really short arms, and they have to stretch them out. But you can do that when they're babies because they're still growing, and so they stretch their arms out, kind of like how they used to wrap, little girls' feet back in China. And you just stretch their arms out, and they're really long. Just saying stupid stuff.
You know why that monkey has such long arms? It works out.
It works out, yeah. No, it just spends so long hanging
Yeah.
from its arms.
The first 3 years of its life, it actually spends hanging by its arms.
by its arms, and so it just gravity,
Baby bones.
I just had fun doing that. But no, it was a delightful Christmas. I basically had 4 Christmases because Christmas Eve in the morning I was at Perry's dad's house, and then the evening we were at our mom's house, and then the next day we were at our dad's house, and then in the evening I was at her mom's house.
So you got 4 Christmases?
Yeah.
Nah, there's a lot of acts that you're not thinking about. Rose-colored glasses and all that.
Yeah, Levi. Rose-colored glasses over there.
Do you mean grass is always greener?
No.
The analogies are analogous. They're
Kind
the
of,
same.
yeah.
They mean effectively the same thing.
No.
Well,
No.
it's like different
No, they
reasons,
don't.
but to the same.
But they're analogous in
they're
a way.
analogous
Yeah.
in a way.
The analogies are analogous.
The analogy.
No, but I just had a wonderful Christmas, and this Christmas I was thinking a lot about what Christmas is actually about, and we talked about that. We had an interesting discussion at my mom's house about that, and then we had another interesting discussion the next morning at my dad's house too about what it's actually about. And I think we've been talking about that on the podcast lately. Well, this just disconnected from Wi-Fi. There we go.
All our live listeners, sorry about that.
Yeah, I would love to do that sometime.
That would be fun. Podcast.
But we just talked about what it's about and how even traditions that are not the focus of Christmas, like giving of gifts, are traditions that should serve to remind us of the purpose. And not the purpose isn't just giving, but I believe the purpose is love, and giving is a demonstration of actionable love. And so we talked about that, and I really enjoyed it. Like I think it was in a weird way. I know this is a weird thing to say in some ways, but like it was probably one of the more spiritually mature Christmases I've been a part of, if that makes sense. At least I felt that way about it. Like it felt like everybody was being much more mindful this Christmas about what actually matters. No matter what you do every year, especially with like younger kids in the house and stuff, it's always going to be like, how soon can we open these presents? And that's okay because it's exciting. But I was very, very happy that when I wanted to talk about what I wanted to talk about, and I started talking about it on Christmas morning, just about this, like, parents especially can always be like, all right, kids, before we open presents, we're going to talk about what Christmas is actually about. And then when you're a kid, you're like,
Can we get through this, please?
but like, I actually felt like Joel and Jenna cared.
Yeah.
Which isn't to say anything ill of them, but like they're kids and they want to open their presents. But they actually just kind of stopped and were just listening and nodding and happy. And I had fun doing it. And so, and for a lot of reasons, for me, was the best Christmas in a while. But I think it was a very intentional and a Christmas that mattered. And I want to make sure that I'd keep doing that going forward, that holidays are traditions, but the traditions serve a purpose, which is, I believe, to point to what's more important. Because traditions are fun.
At times, I felt least like Christmas every year feels less and less, Christmassy.
Mm-hmm.
The times I felt that the least were when like we were just appreciating Christmas for what it was about. Not because in that moment it felt like super festive, but because I wasn't at all thinking about how it didn't feel like Christmas. It just was Christmas.
Those are the times it's felt least like Christmas, you said?
No, I didn't feel that like, man, this Christmas doesn't feel like last year. That feeling that I have every year. I didn't feel that when we were actually just appreciating Christmas for what it was.
Yeah. No, I mean, I talked to Perry about this recently, but I get called a Grinch all the time. And for a period of time, I definitely was one.
Still.
No. And I think for a couple of years, I haven't been one because I actually liked Christmas again. But for a long time, I mean, it did feel like Christmas had been kind of spoiled, growing up. And then, I mean, honestly, with things like the divorce, that ruins a lot of things that are considered family tradition and holidays like Christmas, so wrapped up in family tradition. And so, in some ways, for years, I just didn't want Christmas to be good anymore. And then over the past couple of years, I've just been changing a lot. God's been changing my heart. And also, I wanted to love it again. But then when you want to love it again, when things happen like that, or like huge things like that happen, that are the thing that ruined it in some ways, even if you believe you want it to be the same, like you were saying, the magic can feel gone. And I think for some people, as they get older, just become adults, the magic starts to feel like it goes away. But I was just like, it was just hard because I was like, man, I want to love it. And I do love it again. But why does it not feel magical anymore? And this year, it was magical. And there are a lot of reasons for that. But I think it's because for the right reasons, I was enjoying it. And then even some of the things that like aren't the things that matter, like, this sounds terrible, but like family matters. But great show.
I thought
Roll
about
the
it.
intro. I don't know the intro to
Family matters. The traditions of family and getting together and seeing family for the first time in a long time, or even even if you saw them recently, all of those things matter. But they should never be the focus. They should never be the thing that you say, that you push the Christmas story and God's love and demonstration of love to us, incredible sacrifice. You should never push those to the wayside or ever write those off as just being like, well, we all know about this already. Now let's focus on this. Because it's like completely missing the point when Christmas and things like the giving of gifts, like sacrificing your time, your labor, and your money to find something that you want to give to someone because you love them, that you think they will like. Even that, even though it's like wrapped up in, sure, like you're talking about capitalism or corporate greed and money and all this stuff. And that's why like the whole little adage about it's the thought that counts is because it is. It's like it isn't about the amount of money spent or if you spent no money. It is about spending time, like sacrificing something for someone else, which can be as simple as time, or it can be money, or it can just be thought, and then giving to them. And that's demonstrating in a fun and exciting way, actionable love. And it's analogous, right, with the actionable love that God shows us and has shown us. And then also like the beautiful family traditions of gathering together and having time off from work and just sitting around the table or in the living room and drinking hot chocolate or cider and talking and playing games and singing karaoke and, whatever. I mean, that was a new one this year for us, but
My hidden passion revealed.
Apparently. But like those things, yes, of course, hugely important for the holiday, but those are not the focus. Those things point to the focus, and those things should remind us of it. And I believe that's what tradition is for. Tradition, especially surrounding holidays, should remind us of what's important about the holiday. And that is true of all of them, except for maybe New Year's. I don't know how you're going to... I don't know what's godly about New Year's. To me, it's just like...
Just a bunch of heathens dancing around a ball, if you ask me.
Kissing at midnight. Oh, gross. Premarital kissing. Jude's face when you go, gross.
Yeah, it's very nasty.
But things, I mean, it's not like... I mean, no, Easter is another one that is a spiritual holiday, right? But I can't think of many things... You all right?
Dude, I'm dying.
I'm sorry. Do you want to go blow your nose real quick? You can get up and go blow your nose while we're talking.
No, I'm fine.
You can mute that mic too. We figured that.
We can keep going.
Okay.
He's good.
You're
Snot is
dying.
just pouring out of his nose right now. He's looking.
No,
at
it's out
Jerry.
of his eyes too. Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Yak.
Hang on, I gotta check this real quick.
Yeah, it's crazy to dismiss some things like we know about Christmas and we know about why it's really important, but it's like that's the reason we celebrate it every year, is because we know it, and we're celebrating it to remind ourselves of why it's really important. You know, it's crazy to dismiss the things that we celebrate each year for some new like.
Yeah. Obviously, this is a discussion about what's important after the holidays happen. So it's not like people listening to this are going to be like, oh, I need to make sure to do this
Retrospective.
Next year.
But I think I'm just reflecting on the fact that I'm happy with how this Christmas was celebrated in our house.
Yeah.
And just by myself and by my family and the people around me. And it was just kind of an evidence thing, like seeing it. I was like, yes, this is. You know, I believed this year more than I ever have. I made it a focus, and then I watched it play out, and I was like, yeah, this is it. And I think I was really bummed about the candlelight service being canceled, and I'm not angry with anybody or whatever. Like, it would have been very dangerous to try and get there. But the reason last year I loved that so much is because that felt like something that did capture the magic and beauty of the Christmas tradition, while also simultaneously keeping the focus on God. Because it's a service, and we're sitting there, and pastors are coming up and speaking about Christmas and the importance of it, and then we're singing carols and hymns, right? And then that's broken up by this beautiful service. And we're also in the dark and surrounded by candlelights flickering. And so you also get like the magical kind of feel and look too. So some of it is emotional, which is good. But like... So I was bummed about that, but it's still, and in some ways, I thought, oh man, that means like I feel like I needed that right before Christmas, because it was a couple days before, to kind of push me through it. But I didn't, and I'm excited for it next year, of course. And it's not like I don't want it, but it was just like, yeah, I don't need that for Christmas to be important. Christmas is important without that kind of thing, and that just makes it a little better. But
I'm only realizing now how much I relate to what you said when you said like, oh, I see it. Yes, this is it. Like, I hate to use the term because it sounds funny, but like this could be the blueprint. This is how it can be. Christmas is this very enjoyable time of year, at least it can be. And now I see that celebration the correct way in areas I can grow, and how I can make Christmases better after this one. Like, I've got this is a good blueprint.
Well, and think about this. Sorry to be a grandpa for a second or whatever, but
just the way you pointed was.
Think about this. And this is something I'm only now piecing together in my head, but I know I believed. You said blueprint. For people that are not putting the importance on Christmas in this way, and that are just focusing on who is there, or the family part of it, or the gathering, or even the gifts. When something disrupts that, that's what let Christmas be ruined for me. Like when I was younger, Christmas growing up, if somebody asked me what was most important, I would say, oh yeah, well, the Bible story. And then I'd focus on, well, but family, and I get to see these people and I get to love them, which are good things. But when that is what's important, then when that is disrupted for whatever reason, right? Divorce, death, separation, things like that. And that was true of some of our other family members too, that were experiencing this. Like, we have some cousins and stuff, but those things, and it's not like it's wrong to be sad because of those things, but think about how despite that, it won't fall apart in the same ways that it did when we were younger. And I know at least it did for us. And I hope you're okay with me saying this, but like when you told me that you guys kept your traditions, that's what I was thinking about. As I was like, I think that's so great. Like I told Byron, like, if you don't want me to,
I mean, it should be fine.
okay. I just was like so happy to hear that, because nobody would have thought it was crazy or out there if you guys had like gone this year and changed things up, So
we ended up basically keeping everything how it was. We just did not do the same decorations.
Right.
Yeah.
And it doesn't. It makes sense.
That was the big.
Right.
Yeah.
But I just when you texted me
yeah.
at 4 a.m. Christmas morning and said Merry Christmas, I was like, guess they got up at 2 a.m. just like they always do, you know? And that just made me so happy. I mean, I was just getting home, but
And for the listener, it's a thing for my family that we wake up at 2 a.m. and open presents. We're not allowed to wake anyone up before then. And if we wait too long, we get water poured onto us.
yeah, I love that part.
I don't remember that part. That's crazy.
Yeah.
I just was so happy because I think that kind of is an example of what I'm talking about, which is like, for obvious reasons, you could have changed that because it would have been hard or right. But like, I think that's an example of when the focus is on what's actually important, then when elements of it, like the people involved, change against our better wishes or against our control, it doesn't fall apart. And what's important still sticks around. And that is not something that we can say, I think, for when growing up. When we faced, the separation of our parents, it was just disrupted. And then that's why for me, for a while, I didn't like it and I didn't want to love it. And then I've just been learning that, yeah, if I had responded well then, I mean, I was a kid, but still, like if I had responded well then, or maybe if our parents had responded differently, like it's not just about the traditions, but it could have been about like, yeah, Christmas as a holiday or the joy of it and the celebration of it doesn't have to fall apart just because something out of our control disrupted it in a way that disrupts what we're used to about it because we're making the importance these repeated traditions. And so I don't know if that sounds kind of like I'm conflicting myself by saying like it's a good thing the traditions stuck around, but it's not about the traditions. I'm just saying that I think that by that sticking around, that showcases that even with the disruption, you guys focused on what was important still. And I just loved to know that.
It's important to keep traditions despite things. And despite the traditions, we remember what Christmas is actually about.
Or the traditions point to them.
Yeah.
And I think in your guys' family, that tradition is just something that you guys do because you love each other, right?
Yeah.
And because it's fun. And it probably helps to kind of like get everybody on the same page and all this and that. But just like even little traditions that are funny like that, I think. And it's something that our family didn't have growing up. We didn't have a lot of traditions in general. And that's something that I've been talking a lot about how I want to start that, especially someday if I have a family of my own. I want to work on starting traditions now. And then I want to have them then. Well, and that's important to me. So I have been thinking about that and doing that, finding ways to start traditions now and base them off of things that are important and demonstrate, hopefully, biblical and godly values. And so if part of that is gift giving, I want to start some sort of tradition around that focuses on what's important about that. And even if it's something else, like just something little and small, or something crazy like getting water poured on you. I want things to have reasons, and I want the reasons to be sound, and I want them to happen every year because then it points to more important things. It's cool. I'm a little freed up on time now, more than I was, if that's what you're wondering.
That's good. No, I was afraid that I had forgotten to unmute myself, and so this whole podcast was just me. But I was looking at the thing.
You kind of look like an old woman right now, though, because you have that hood on. But is it over headphones?
It's over the headphones.
I was like, how is your hair so poofy?
Oh, no. I might have like Princess Leia.
You do.
No, for like a half
Puffs.
second, I was like,
Look at
what's
me.
going on?
There you go.
Just deer in the headlights.
Yeah, we've talked about Christmas a lot in these last 3 episodes, and I think that makes sense. I mean, we're only 4 days after Christmas right now, and so I think people can still
But
hear
they'll
it.
be hearing this
Yeah, but
4 days before Christmas.
No.
So they'll have time to take it in and
no,
kind
you're
of.
a
Yeah.
psychopath.
We're living ahead, but we're playing in the past.
We're sending it to the past.
Yeah.
Back to the future.
But it's all at the same time.
it's all at
It's all
the
at the
theory.
same time.
Oh, gross.
Buzz, buzz, buzz. It's the B theory.
Buzz, buzz, buzz. It's the
I've also been thinking about, to stay at least somewhat in a topic that is hopefully fruitful. I've been thinking about that whole birds perching in branches thing a lot, and how Matt had talked about the parable of the mustard seed, and the purpose of it being something that is often missed, and I'm just way more intentional now about when bad things are happening. Because like there is this kind of people say Murphy's Law or whatever, but like there is this genuine thing that happens pretty regularly, which is it feels like when things are good, something really bad tries to happen or happens. Or things are like, it feels like things are finally okay, and then something out of nowhere bad happens. And man, I'm trying to be really intentional about recognizing those things and not just like wallowing in them, taking my time to mourn or deal with the difficulty of them, and then going, this is the devil sending birds to perch in my branches right now. Like, because I'm trying my hardest to be like Christ right now. And he is sending everything he can at me. And Matt had just said, like, why would he waste? I mean, Satan is very good at what he does. I know this is a topic shift, but Satan is very good at what he does.
Bruh.
Yeah. And which is something I talked about at Bible study recently. It's like, we're dealing with an enemy in our lives. Mm-hmm. And a skilled one. We're not dealing with like
a force,
an annoyance.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, also, and it's personal, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sometimes it
can feel like
there's a mistake
this
that it's just
evilness.
this negative force,
Right.
right? But it's
we're
a
dealing
conscious
with
being,
an enemy, right?
who's actively
The three,
vested in our.
the world, the flesh, and the devil, or sometimes it's listed as the world of flesh and the enemy, right? And he is an enemy to us, like an adversary. He's personal. And so, of course, his attacks are going to be personal. Of course, they're going to hit us at home or right in our hearts. And sometimes it's easy to think like, this thing is like, it's so crazy. Or it's like, this is the kind of stuff that happens in a movie because it's so orchestrated. And you're like, oh, yeah. Well, it is a little orchestrated. Like this thing that's literally jabbing me in the side right now. Well,
I mean,
metaphorically.
He's had millennia to hone his craft.
That's true.
And to put things in the world, like to guide it along, to make it worse and worse for people. Yeah.
No, he's just good at what he does.
Yeah.
We're
But
actively in.
God is greater.
in the enemy's
Right.
territory, and
That's
the
true.
enemy is actively against
Yeah,
us.
we are in enemy territory.
Yeah.
Always. That's true. I mean, we are in the world, but not of the world, or at least we're called to be, right? And so we are in enemy territory all the time. And he's really skilled, but God is greater. And something that's been really helping me lately, and I hope that this helps people listening, and I hope, if you guys, you've heard it, but is like intentionally calling out those birds perching in your branches. Like, when those things happen, don't fool yourself into thinking they're not happening or that they're not bad. And don't be like, Chuck, when we were at church one time, talked about that guy in his class whose daughter had been hit, and he was there just like, you could tell clearly in shock. And he was just like, no, this is a good thing. This probably doesn't make much sense because I'm just referencing something, but like it was a story about somebody in a class who on their way there, right? He had seen his daughter get like run over or hit. It was something horrible.
It was like within like the past like 2 days or something.
Yeah, it was very recent. And then he's just like smiling and like clearly in shock and not dealing with the sorrow and not recognizing it for what it is. And there's something to be said about, right, in the sorrow, faith being produced, but you also have to deal with it and don't lie to yourself about what it is. But no, what I'm saying is, so it's not to that extreme, but it is recognizing those things, calling them out for what they are, and it only serves not always to make it easier, and sometimes for me it does, but it always serves to make it worth it. Because it's like, because it feels like those birds come up when you're happiest, or you feel like something's changing in your life, or you feel like you're growing, and it's like, yeah, of course it's then, because we're dealing with an enemy who knows what he's doing. So of course he's going to pick very opportune times to do things and very personal things. And so call it out for what it is. Like to yourself and to others. Like when something bad is happening or has happened, take your time to deal with it mentally. And if you have to cry over it, cry over it. But then you have to at some point stop. And you have to call it out for what it is, and you have to stand back up and move forward. And you don't look back on it, right? There's these two doors in front of you or whatever, and you have to make a decision what to do. And if you believe it's right and you seek godly counsel and you pray and you read your Bible over it, I mean, this is more if you're confronted with a decision, I guess, but like, you don't turn back around and wonder if you did the right thing, because that only produces doubt, especially doubt. It could produce doubt in God if you believe you're doing what God is telling you. But like, yeah, I don't know. It's hard to do, but it's really helped me to hear. And it's really changed a lot in my life lately, which is just call the devil out, you know? And it sounds weird because like you said, we think of it as a force so often. I think of him as a force. But no, he's personal. And when those things are happening, I'm not perfect and I don't do it all the time. And I'm trying to do it more, and I'm doing it more than I did. And it does help, because even if it doesn't make it easier, and most of the time it doesn't, at least when you have set that precedent in your mind, then as you're going through it, you're remembering that it's worth it. And then when it's over, or when it's as over as it can be, then you think back on that and you go, oh yeah, this was so much more worth it because I was considering what I could learn from it and how I could grow. Because I called the devil out for who he is and for what he is doing, not for just, this
Just my
negativity.
luck.
Yeah,
Yeah.
this negativity that exists in the world or whatever. And it's just happening.
It said so well. I don't
It's
know
not
if
like
you said
bad
the
things
full-
don't just happen. It's
Yeah.
like somebody's doing them. So call them out for it. And then you can, because sometimes we feel like we need blame too, right? Or like as humans, it's natural to feel like we need to know why things are happening. And sometimes we can't go like, well, this is why it's happening in like a worldly or personal way. But we still know that it's Satan. We know it's the enemy. So like, there you go. And our minds can compartmentalize that a little bit better for calling it out for what it is. Sorry, go ahead. You said something said so well or something.
Oh, I don't know if you ever like finished but Satan doesn't waste his time on, I can't remember the full thing, but like people who aren't doing anything.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Satan's not wasting his time with unbelievers or those already completely, lost in sin with no desire for redemption necessarily. Yeah. He's spending his time well crafted on those who are seeking godliness, right? That's something Matt told me because I'm really trying to do that, right? And I talked to him about this irrational struggle I'm dealing with and this irrational mentality that I know is, but it doesn't make it go away. And he's like, I know it doesn't make it go away. He's like, and that is Satan putting those birds, perching in your branches, those things. And he's like, he doesn't waste his time on those who aren't trying. He calculates and spends his time to cripple those who are. And he's like, this isn't to say you're all that and you're doing everything right, and that's why bad things are happening. Of course not. It's to say you're trying. And so Satan wants to stop those who are trying, because if he can crush those who are trying, then those who aren't will fall right in line.
Yeah.
So if you know you're trying and then these things start happening, don't let them crush you. Call them out for what they are and allow that to encourage you, because then you can go, hey, I must be trying something in the right direction because the guy who wants to put a stop to it is trying to stop my efforts. Like, and don't be puffed up and prideful about it, right? But be encouraged that you're doing your best to serve God, and God is so much greater than all of that anyway. So then when this thing is happening or whatever, or these myriad of things or these thoughts or struggles or anxiety or doubt, then the one who wants to put a stop to the kingdom of God and never will is trying to stop your efforts. And God is greater than it. So with him, he never will. And it's just up to you not to let him get to you. Well, it's up to you to lean on God so that you don't let him. Because our own efforts are never enough. They're like filthy rags, but everything that's good in us is him. And he's greater than all of it. So it's a topic shift from Christmas for sure. But it's something I've been thinking about a lot lately. And I think a lot of people need to hear. And it's something I like to talk about. But, yeah. There's my
There's the spiel.
there's the spiel.
The spiel,
There's my
we finally got
soapbox Southern preacher
The spiel out of
slightly
your
yelling
teeth.
moment.
It was good.
Yeah.
It was good.
I hope so. They're not my words, but some of them are, I guess.
Based.
They're reworded, but they're God's, and God has given them to many people, and they passed them around. They made their way into my head now.
I'm glad you
Way
took
out.
the responsible route with that and not the deranged. And also, I'm a modern prophet route, which is, they're all God's words, not mine. I speak for him.
No,
Yeah.
I just mean that when I say things like they're not my words, they're His, I don't mean to say that I opened my mouth and I turned on God radio.
Yeah.
I mean that everything good in us is Him anyway. And so through no power of my own am I concocting wisdom.
Yeah.
It's only through His word and inspiration. So yeah. Cool beans, guys.
Beans.
We're over an hour in. We should probably wrap it up, but is there more that you guys want to talk about here before we do?
I think it was well summarized.
Mm-hmm. Well, sorry for taking the reins a little bit and
No,
just
that's good.
running with it. But
I apologize if I talked over you a little bit. There were some
You
things I
didn't.
wanted to say, but I didn't know when to.
you're good. I was talking, so you have to interject to make sure things don't get lost in the weeds. So I appreciate that. And if there was something that was lost, I hope we can reiterate it later. But let's pray together real quick and then get out of here. Who wants to start? I can close.
I can start.
All right, and you, and then I'll go.
Dear God, thank you for allowing us to be together again and for the holidays to have gone over well. And God, thank you for helping us keep our eyes on you and remembering your work in all of this. And God, I want to pray that you be with everyone going into this new year and that this can be a great start to a great year moving forward, God. And I pray that when the devil throws things in our faces, that we can feel your presence and know how much larger you are than him and how much more powerful and better for us you are. And thank you for everything that you've done for us. And
Dear Lord, thank you for this day. Thank you for another opportunity to come together and grow closer together and closer to you. I want to thank you for allowing myself and Jerry and hopefully many others this year to kind of glean a better or stronger understanding of Christmas and the true holiday around it. And I hope that we're able to continue to grow in that area and spread that because it's such an important day, and it's an important day for you, an important day to look at you. And I hope that by hearing this podcast, some people can have that revelation and that a very radical change can happen and that Christmas could kind of be for you again. I hope that everyone listening, everyone in the new year, they continue to edify and work on themselves throughout this year. And that we can be a better people for you.
Dear Heavenly Father, thank you for the two people I'm sitting here with. Thank you for giving me friends that I love. And thank you for the opportunities I have to tell them that. And I pray that they know that fully. Thank you for all the people in my life that I love and for the love that you have shown us and the demonstration you have given us of what it really means to love one another.
Thank you for sending your son, for stepping to earth and living here, and for dying and then raising again miraculously and demonstrating godhood and ultimately demonstrating divine actionable love. And thank you for saving us. We are a people in need of saving because we can't do it on our own. And God, you are greater than all the hurt and trouble and every earthly hardship and difficulty. And not only are you greater, but you make them all worth it. And I pray that those listening know that and come to learn that and remember it. Because it's really easy when we're just talking about it to say we believe it and maybe believe it. But I pray that when we see those birds perching in our branches, that God, we remember to call them out for what they are and not be angry with you, but take it in stride and lean more heavily on you, because God, you are greater than each and every one of them. And those just serve as a reminder how great you are and to your power. And they serve as a great reminder to keep living for you. And I pray that that is just what we remember when facing them. Thank you, God, for everything that you have given us. We love you so much, and we want to be more like you. In Jesus' name, amen. There's one more thing I want to mention. We talked about Christmas. It's just something that, with Christmas, and I'm sure I already kind of touched on it, but as Christians and believers, there's kind of this air around it as a holiday because of the corporate element to it and the money element and even just the whole cheery Santa lights, all this stuff that's still fun and should be fun, that should be had, but shouldn't be the focus. It can like turn Christians off of Christmas and instead make them go, well, because Christmas has turned into this, we are just going to do it amongst ourselves. And I was talking to Perry, and she said, she's like, it's sad because Christians should be the most Christmassy out of everybody. I might have said this on the podcast already, but like, I wholeheartedly believe that. And it should be about what's important about it, but like just even the simple like joy, like the big smile because it's Christmas time kind of thing. And just walking around and seeking to like make children happy and like all of those sorts of things. Like, absolutely. Because then when people ask, or, oh, you love Christmas, don't you? Or like, why is it that you do this? Then you tell them the reason. Or you tell them the reason even if they don't ask. But like, it is a season of joy and love. And Christians kind of turn themselves off from it a little bit. In the way that from the world. And they just kind of show that within their own circles. I think we're doing a huge disservice, and that only serves to let the holiday become more twisted. But we should be the most cheery, in our own way. So next Christmas, that's what I'll be practicing. Is all month long Christmas sweaters, Christmas hats.
Christmas Jerry? Or Jerry Christmas?
Jerry Christmas, but not the gangster kind.
And they say Jerry's heart grew 3 sizes this year.
Yeah, it definitely did.
He's a Grinch.
But
He's a Grinch.
we should be the most Christmassy. And Levi, you always wear that hat.
Nature.
And I love it. And I want to do stuff like that. I just need a smaller head.
Yeah. Size it down.
Yeah, I'll try. I'll trim it. I'll trim some of the fat. All right, everybody. So it's a new year. Things are probably going to change with the podcast here and there, but all good things.
Must come to an
But we hope you had
Come to those.
We hope you had a wonderful year. It's been such an awesome 2022 of a podcast, talking to you and talking to you guys. And I've been loving it, and I can't wait for the rest of this year. And this will be our first start to finish year, assuming that we keep going.
Welcome to 2023, gentlemen.
Yeah, that's true. What are we going to do with it? You know, like we said before, this one's a hard holiday to look at and see like spiritual roots in. But you know what? The whole New Year's resolutions thing, like in sincerity, it is a benchmark, right? A new year. And benchmarks can serve for a purpose, which is just to be like looking back on what you did then and looking forward to what you can do now. And so for this one, I mean, we don't have to get into little things like, well, I'm going to eat less ice cream or whatever, but in sincerity,
I'm going to actually file my taxes.
think about what you did this year, the good and the bad, and look forward to next year and think about what you're going to do. Because like, stop just walking through life not thinking about what you're doing. Like, just think about what you're doing. It doesn't have to be every moment of every waking day, because that's where you get OCD and crazy. Trust me. But like, think about what you're doing and why you're doing it, and think about what you've done and why you did it. Because that's a huge proponent to improving. So, all right. Happy New Year, everybody. Thank you for listening. We love you very much.
Roll the outro.
I end the program by saying, you've made this day a special day by just your being you. There's no person in the whole world like you, and I like you just the way you are.
That's a good one.